Amara sat on the cold hospital bed, her newborn sleeping peacefully on her chest. Nurses smiled. Doctors whispered congratulations. Yet her tears refused to stop. They were not tears of pain, but of memory. 5 years earlier, another woman had held a child in her arms and been called Barren. 5 years earlier, a marriage had broken her spirit and blamed her womb. As she kissed her baby's forehead, Amara whispered, "It was never me. Please kindly follow my channel and like my videos for me." Before the city changed him, Connor was just a village boy with restless dreams. He and Amara grew up knowing each other's laughter, fears, and quiet hopes. They sat under mango trees as teenagers, planning a future that felt far away but certain. When Connor decided to travel to the city to make it, he held Amara's hands tightly and promised, "I will come back for you. I won't forget you." Amara believed him because love had not yet taught her how cruel waiting could be. Years passed. Letters became phone calls. Phone calls became silence. Yet Amara waited, defending him to friends, rejecting other suitors, trusting a promise made under the sun. Connor returned in a car the village had never seen him drive before. He wore confidence like new skin. People praised him. Elders admired him. Mothers pointed him out as an example. When he came for Amara, it felt like destiny fulfilled. The wedding was loud, joyful, and hopeful. Amara believed her waiting had finally been rewarded. That night, Connor held her and said, "We will build everything together." Amara didn't know she would be the one doing most of the building, and most of the bleeding. Amara and Connor were the kind of couple people prayed to become. Their love story started gently, shared dreams of success and family. Connor was charming, attentive, and proud of his wife. Amara felt chosen, cherished, safe. After marriage, they built a beautiful home on the edge of the city, close enough to modern life but still rooted in family land. Their evenings were filled with laughter, shared meals, and whispered plans of the children they would have. Connor would place his hand on Amara's stomach and say, "Our home will be noisy one day." Amara believed him with her whole heart. When Amara got pregnant the first time, joy filled the house. She spoke to her belly every morning, already calling the baby names. Connor took her to every appointment, holding her hand proudly in public. The loss came suddenly. No warning. No explanation. Just blood, silence, and shattered dreams. Connor tried to be strong, but grief changes people differently. Amara mourned deeply, quietly. She blamed herself, wondering what she had done wrong. Connor comforted her then, but something subtle shifted. Hope was no longer innocent. The second pregnancy ended before it began. The third ended in the hospital. The fourth came with prayers and fasting, and still ended in tears. By the fifth loss, Amara no longer announced pregnancies. She waited for loss. Each miscarriage took something from her spirit. Her body healed, but her heart didn't. She watched other women give birth effortlessly while she bled silently. Church became painful. Baby showers became torture. Connor's patience was thin. He stopped attending hospital visits. He stopped comforting her at night. Where there was once love, there was now quiet disappointment. The warmth in their home faded. Connor came home late. He avoided conversations. When Amara cried, he accused her of being weak. When she prayed, he accused her of being dramatic. Slowly, cruel words replaced gentle ones. "You women know how to pretend. Maybe this is your punishment." Amara began to apologize for things she didn't understand. She started shrinking herself to keep peace. Amara noticed the signs before she saw proof. The smell of perfume. The secretive phone calls. The sudden anger over small things. When she confronted Connor, he didn't deny it. He blamed her womb. "A man needs a child," he said coldly. That night, Amara slept on the floor of her own bedroom, holding her stomach, begging God to forgive her for something she didn't do. One argument turned violent. Connor slapped her for questioning him. The slap echoed louder than thunder in her ears. She tasted blood and shame at once. The next day, she wore long sleeves and smiled for visitors. In African homes, a woman's suffering is private. Silence is taught as virtue. Amara began to die slowly, not physically, but emotionally. One evening, Connor spoke calmly, almost kindly. "Let's adopt," he said. "Maybe that will heal us." Amara cried tears of gratitude. She believed this was God's answer. She imagined finally being called mother, even if not by blood. She did not know the child already existed, born from betrayal. Busy was younger. Careless. Confident. Connor promised her marriage but gave her lies. When she got pregnant, Connor panicked. He feared shame, not sin. He feared society, not his wife's heart. So he planned the lie carefully, hiding the baby in an orphanage, erasing the mother's name, rewriting destiny. The orphanage was quiet. Amara's heart melted when she held the baby boy. Something about him felt familiar, comforting. She named him Samuel. She loved him deeply, fiercely. For the first time, she felt whole. Connor watched silently. Guilt lived in his eyes, but selfishness ruled his heart. Amara gave everything to that child. Sleepless nights. Endless care. She defended him fiercely against insults. She endured whispers that adoption wasn't real motherhood. She loved him more than life, while Connor grew distant, irritated, and cold. Love given on lies always breaks the giver first. Busy returned years later, broken, angry, bitter. She discovered the baby was not Connor's. The man who fathered the child had disappeared. She wanted revenge. She came to Amara with the truth, raw, ugly, unforgiving. Amara listened quietly as truth crushed her spirit. Her miscarriages. The cheating. The adoption lie. The violence. All connected. After all the sacrifices, this is how her husband decided to pay her back. She could never trust him again in her life. She did not scream. She simply stood up, packed her clothes, and left before dawn. She left the child, because her heart had already been destroyed. The world was cruel to her. Society blamed her. But Amara refused to return to abuse. She healed slowly. She learned to love herself again. She stopped apologizing for her body. She met David, kind, patient, gentle. He loved her without conditions. It was difficult to trust him at first, but he proved to be a good man. She settled with him and their love grew beautifully. Amara conceived naturally. No treatment. No struggle. Doctors confirmed it, infertility was never her problem. She cried, not from joy alone, but from grief for the years stolen from her. Connor lost everything: marriage, child, reputation. He lived alone with regret. Amara lived fully, with peace, love, and children. Sometimes, the womb is not barren, the marriage is.